Good evening, Stonegate audience. It is Sunday night, a little after 8 o'clock, and that means it's time for another Stonegate Capital update tonight. Hope you're all doing well on this day in March. So yesterday was the 29th anniversary, and it was our 29th annual fantasy baseball draft for the James Murphy Memorial League. So it's a fantasy baseball league that I play in. Very lucky to be a part of it. We still have 6 of our original 11 owners. It's the James Murphy Memorial League. That was one of our original owners who passed away, unfortunately. So I won't go into all the specifics about what a fantasy baseball league is and how our league works, but simple as can be, we draft real-life baseball players, a roster full of them, and then their stats that they produce in real life go on to our team. So when you draft like we did yesterday, you're really breaking apart the American League, all the players there, and you're trying to think about what type of player they are and how they're going to do this coming year. Is he a power hitter? Does he hit a lot of home runs? Is he a fast guy? Does he steal a lot of bases? Does he hit for a really high batting average? If he's a pitcher, is he going to have a really good earned run average? Does he pitch for a really good team? Is he likely to get a lot of wins? Is he a reliever? Is he likely to get you a lot of saves? So you're kind of breaking that down, and there's no perfect player except Mike Trout comes really, really close. So Mike Trout plays for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, I believe is the official term for that team. And statistically, he might end up being the very best baseball player of all time. So when you equate that to note investing, we're all looking for, the Mike Trout of a note. So I don't know if this is quite that, but this is a pretty good one that I looked at recently. And I'm just going to break it apart. And similar like I just told you about a baseball player, each note has its pluses and minuses, its good points and its bad points to it. So this was a note in Columbus, Ohio. The unpaid balance was just under $40,000. The payment was $581. The term was, remaining term, I should say, was 52 weeks. The fair market value of this house was $72,000. And I put in a bid of just under $20,000 for this. When I was putting this together tonight, I realized I might have been almost a little bit too conservative on this. So some of the good things that I liked about this particular note was the location. I live near Columbus, Ohio, and this note was in Columbus. I know the area very well. I really know the whole state of Ohio very well, actually. But Columbus I know even better, of course, since I do live here. The property is occupied. I know that for a fact because I personally drove past this one and not that I crept up and was creeping or spying on anybody, but I could just see some people walking around through the window. The condition of the house was in pretty good condition. No windows busted out. The roof looked to be in good shape. The siding was intact. It has a high payment of $581. I liked that. The higher the payment, the less it seems like as a percentage if you're going to use a professional servicer, which I do and which I recommend. That takes less of a bite out of that. The numbers on this were really, really good. The investment to value, if I was to get this, was just about 26%. The return on investment would be around 33%. If anyone's is watching this carefully and double checks my numbers actually might be just a little bit off because I fudged them a little bit to make sure that I wasn't betraying any confidential information or anything. I also liked the fact that this house had a high fair market value. I personally shy away and rarely bid on homes that have a fair market value of less than $50,000. I like the security of this investment. For the same reasons I just said, it's in a decent location, the house is in good shape, and there'd be a big difference between what I pay and then what the value of the house is. So you always try to find some bad. Okay, the term is only 52 more months. Okay, that's not really that long of a time. It's unlikely I could, try to sell a partial or something on this. But that really is not that much of a negative to me. So if that's the worst that comes of it, that's fine. I put down Ohio in question marks. I said that because some investors are actually starting to shy away from Ohio. And I understand that to some extent. There's some laws that they either have passed or are looking to pass in Ohio that is making note investing harder to do in Ohio, in addition to other real estate investing. Borrower equity. Okay, this borrower has a lot of equity in the house, a little bit more than $40,000. So you could look at that as one of two ways. Number one, they could say, well, I've already got a lot of equity invested in this house. I should just start paying again and keep it. Or you could look at it as, well, I'm not paying on this, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to fight them tooth and nail if they try to, take this house away from me. So sometimes if the borrower has a significant amount of equity, it can work against you. And then lastly, this was very minor, but it just looked better if I put it up there, was taxes. They owe about $400 to $500 in taxes currently. That's not a major thing to me based on the other pluses to it, but it is something to pay attention to. So Brad Smith just joined here. Brad Smith is one of the other original owners of our league. So Brad, I just mentioned you and some of the other guys here. So that should do it for tonight. So this is not quite the Mike Trout of notes, but it is a very good note. And on that note, that should do it for tonight, unless anyone has any questions. Mike Russ, hello to you. I hope you're doing well. We need to chat or get together or something at one of these things. Okay, thank you again very much, everyone, for listening tonight. I hope you're doing well. And I hope everyone has a great week. If anyone does think of any questions later on, by all means, feel free to put them in the comments and I will be sure to respond. Thank you very much. Until next week, that is how you climb the hill. Thanks again. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.